Hello everybody, I'm Serta and welcome back to Eden Crafters. We are playing on Terra and we are building a lot of factories. Last episode we got through quite a lot of the gold stuff, and in today's episode I really want to get stuck into a lot of the osmium stuff, but there are a few more small factories that need to be built. Things that are very impactful but definitely needed. That would be things like the thermal regulator, the catalytic converter, and maybe a bigger one being the fast rotors. There's also the reinforced frames that we've got to get to. That's not too bad, and it's very, very important. So we're going to look at those areas. We also need to unlock the ability to find uranium, because we need uranium to be able to make things like the nuclear energy cell, which will give our vehicles and our spaceships a lot more range. Anyway, a lot to do. Let's get stuck in. So in between episodes, if we have a look at the map, I went to the northern part of the green island, and just about in this area I found a little cave that gave me some more uranium. So now I have some uranium and I can now chuck it in the analyzer and analyze. And with that done, we've unlocked a few more things. Spaceship, nuclear plant, things that are way far away from what we're going to be doing right now. And our next objective is still to establish a research base in the coldest region and put in the 5 data center units. We also need to build the advanced assembler and the gem cutter to be able to unlock a few more recipes. And if my voice sounds a little bit off today, it's because I'm struggling a little bit with a cold. I apologize for that. In addition to finding that uranium over on that side of the island, I also went exploring. And on the hot island, I found a uranium node in the cool area in a cave. And I was specifically looking for that because somebody in the comments mentioned that there was something in a cave along the side of the cool side of the split island. So that's what I found. That's great. That means we can start refining uranium and doing other stuff. But I need some warming units so that I can access the cold areas. And for warming units, I need thermal regulators, which need ruby ore and ceramic components. Now, we haven't made ceramic components yet, but we're going to, because if we look at the map down on the big island, we have ruby, we have quartz close together. So we're going to go set up a facility over there. We have another ruby area over here, but no quartz close by. So we'll use this one. But I am going to need a Mark II miner to be able to do that. So let's pin that. Well, I did use up all my osmium, so I can't really make any of that stuff until we've got some osmium set up. So let's start planning that. We have a look in here. Composite beams need osmium alloy and iron beams. Osmium alloy right here. We need osmium and gold. So we'll need osmium and gold close together, and iron. These ones just need osmium and iron. So these are the three that I'd like to get done. Composite beams are pretty important. They're used in a lot of big constructions later on. But we also need a standalone osmium alloy, because if you go into the build menu, the Mark III or the version 3 conveyors are osmium alloy. And I found a use for those new ones, the advanced panels. They go into the conveyor V4, and that has a speed of 360 per minute. Pretty cool. So let's have a look at the map and see if we can find a location. There's iron. There's a bit more iron over there. There's gold, osmium. That's one option. There's no gold down here, so that's not going to help us. But there's osmium. So we could use that osmium for the other two, so the ones that don't need the gold, these two, and I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to sort out my food, make sure that I'm not carrying anything that I don't need. The interesting thing here, we have hydraulic pistons. Oh, you know what, we could actually do that ruby mining. I think we have enough stuff on us to be able to do that, but I'm not going to do that now. Let's stick to the plan. Let's go and do some osmium factories. So we're going to head straight over in that direction. Alright, this is going to be a pretty long belt because we have our gold over here, and that's going to need to come all the way around to this area where we have the osmium that is right here, and then we've got some iron over there. It may not be enough, but we'll give it a shot. And that means we're going to have to break down this miner, which will give us some good stuff, I assume. Yes, more of that good stuff. So yeah, don't be like me and think that you shouldn't be breaking things down. When I first started breaking things down, I was getting like 2 iron out of them, but it was obviously the lower level stuff. And I'm going to start taking other things down as well, because we're going to need this space. I'll leave this over here. We can get oxygen in here. And if I'm not wrong, we might be able to build things in here. Yes, we can. We can absolutely use these old buildings. Right, but the most important thing right now is to get that gold over to here. So I'm going for a walk. I have changed my mind. I'm not going for a walk. I think what I'll do is I'll fly over there, I'll walk the belt back, and then I will come and build a landing pad down here. It looks like a nice place to have a secondary base. Okay, we are here. I'm going to have to break down this forge because I'm just going to bring the gold ore across, and I'll, I don't know, maybe I'll redo the setup. Let's just have a look. So gold ore in a T1 miner. Now, do I have enough for a T2? I'm missing 2 gear assemblies and composite. No, I don't have enough. So that would be making 40 per minute for now. It will need to be more. No, actually, what I've got here kind of works. We're not actually producing enough for the forge. So this one for now will be fine. I'll run this belt down, and then later on when we want to upgrade this setup, then we can change the number of forges and upgrade that miner. So yeah, it's just this belt going across. And it's going to be, for now, just the V1 belt. So I'm going to walk this belt back to that little base. And we have arrived. So I already have the ingots. Then I need to set up a miner on this one. Oh, and we are going to need to make alloy, so I need to start cleaning the water as well. Might as well get that done. Yeah, I'm just going to drop this in over there. Should get most of the water here. Okay, let's see how we do this. I will make the iron beams over there. Okay, so that'll be its own facility, and then it'll feed into the manufacturing. Let's put a mine on the osmium, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space for processing to happen, and I think I'll bring it around this side so I can get rid of these two. And once again, one miner will make, yeah, it'll be a match because the miner brings out 60. Mark 1 miner, 60 per minute. Ingots are made in the forge. They make 30 per minute using 2, so that's 60, which is the same as what's being mined. So it's only one forge. That will change. So for now, I'm just going to put one forge in here and then belt that in to there. And we're going to need power in this area. I brought some batteries as well. Awesome. So I can't do the geothermal plant right now because that needs the osmium drills and composite beams, the composite beams I'm currently making. So we're still going to be going with these solar panels and then a couple of batteries just to keep this going. And luckily the sun is starting to come up, so that's good. So we've got the gold ingots coming from that side. We have the osmium ingots being produced over here. And now we can make an alloy forge, which I'm going to place right around there. And then we can bring this in to there. And I can bring this around and into there. And then I'm going to need some water. And the alloy forge uses 300. Ideally, I'd want to put in the version 2 water pump, but we haven't got the composite beams or the fast rotors. So we're going with 3 of these. And we'll just place them like that. Get the pipe hub in. Oh, these pipes are not going to be happy. That in there and that in there. That's 300-ish water. Not quite at the moment, but will be. And then that can get fed into there. And that I will set to make osmium alloy. So eventually, hopefully, we get some gold coming across. But next thing we need to do is head over in this direction and sort out the iron beams. And I think what I may do is actually just make the beams over here. Yeah, that'll work. And we've done one of these facilities before. So we're going to swing that around and maybe we do this one with a little bit of maths. So on the iron, normal mine 120 per minute. Ingots 60 per minute uses 2. So it's actually, this is also a 1-to-1. But I am going to split this one because I will upgrade that mine. So we'll, oh, that's a sorter. I don't want that. That's the splitter. And then we will need 2 forges. I'm going to set them up as normal. Sort out all the belts. And then these 2 go into parts producers. And this one will make plates. This one will make rods. And I can belt those in. And they are working. Then we need an assembly machine. Pop that in just like that. Belt that in. Set that recipe to be iron beams. And then we can just take the iron beams across to wherever we're going to make this thing. Which will be... There isn't anything else over here. So I think maybe the warehouse can go over here. And I'm just going to use a tier 1 warehouse. But this is working. Highly inefficiently, but it's working. And then I'll put an assembly machine right in front of this. About there. Belt that into there. And then we're going to grab that spot. I think... I'll probably give it a couple of bends. That goes in there. And then from our alloy... let me just go over there. I might be a bit far away. Yeah, the output from the alloy forge can be right there We'll bring it across, maybe give it another bend, create some more space, and pop that in there. And that will be set to composite beams. Now I have made a little bit of a mistake here because I do want to split off osmium alloy. Let's just check things out. Yeah, that's fine. For now, I'm going to take this out, move that one across to one of the other ports. And then I'm going to put a splitter in over here somewhere. So, that broke quite a bit. I think I'll put that in there. Then I can just change this belt. That into there. Ah, this one didn't delete. There we go. This one straight in there. This one, just line the bends up a bit. That can go over this way and plug into that. So when the gold... Oh, I see the gold is here. Awesome. And this rock needs to go. And we have osmium alloy. And we have beams coming in from the other side. Very slowly, but they are coming through. So I just need to make sure that this actually all works. These are getting split, so we will get osmium alloy going into there. Now this whole thing is going to be upgraded. Upgraded mines, upgraded belts, probably more forges, so that it works a lot better than it's working now. But I've left enough space to be able to play around with it a bit. Right, we have our iron beams, we have our first osmium alloy, and as you can see, it needs 4 osmium alloys, so this is going to be super slow. And what I might do is actually do osmium alloy somewhere else. But for now, I want to have some in stock, so it's going in here. And we have our first composite beam. Perfect. Right, let's go and get the other osmium things done. But that means I need to get my ship back here, so let's build a landing platform. Now I'll just do 2 of them again. The stairs, and I need a controller. So let's head in here and go and build an assembler right there and get myself a controller. And that done, I can go and put the controller down. I'll put it on this side. So the ship recall station and use it. And my ship is here. Lovely. Oh, these 2 didn't link up. It does that sometimes. Anyway, in the ship, and we are going to head over that way, I think. Have a look at the map. Yep, exactly that way. Now, I could have done a lot of osmium on the other island because there is a lot over there. And I might do that. I may just double up. And we can do little valley run. Alright, this area is not quite as flat as the other one was. But there is our osmium. And that is all that we need for this build. Well, and the iron. So the iron is a little far away. Not crazy far, but up the top of a mountain. So I think maybe I should go there first. If we have a look at the map, it is just around here. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, not terribly far away. And I'm not sure if there's power here. I'm not sure if the power that we've got reaches here. Let's have a look at the map. Oh, I don't think it does. Nope. I might need to extend that over. But we can put a mine on here. Just like that. Not much space over here. So I think, well, I don't think there's much space on the other side either. But we'll bring the belt through and down the hill. Oh, about like that. And it is working. So it's picking up power from, obviously, the wind turbine at the osmium. I'll put another wind turbine down. Yeah, I'm going to need more power here. Right, and now we can head back down and decide where we're going to do this. So we already have osmium being made. We have a whole lot of osmium ingots. We need to make a couple of things with the iron. We need plates and we need gears. So I'm going to extend the belt, and I think maybe... Man, there's no easy place to do this. I'll just keep running it further down. I could just break this whole facility down, but I don't really want to do that. That's something I didn't notice before, but there's a container up on the roof. What if there's a way to get there? I'd need the jetpack. Or I could land my ship up there. Ah, food. We'll do a splitter. Wait. Yes, we're doing a splitter. We'll do 2 forges. Get those belted in. And then we're going to do 2 parts producers. This might move. Yeah, I think so. Get rid of that. So 1 parts producer there, 1 there, and this will have a second one. And that'll go there, that'll go there. That will make plates, this will make rods, and this will make gears. And I could just add that belt in there. Why are we not... Oh, I haven't connected this into... I need to remove a little bit of this. Alright, that'll start coming through. And then I need to put in a warehouse. Once again, just a regular T1. And pop it down over there. And we are going to need... We're going to need 2 assemblers. So we'll put 1 over on this side and 1 over on this side. And I'm going to need to split the output of this osmium. So we'll do that. And pop that in there. And now we're going to need to hop belts, I think. So let's give this a bit of space. No, that's wrong. Let me just get myself closer to the position. I think I'm going to get the iron stuff in first. So this will be, I'll be coming down over here. And I'm going to put that straight into there. And then the plates will come across to here. And then run that into there. Now I might need to get to ground level for this one. Because the osmium's going to need to jump this belt. Or go under it. Let's try that option. So I'm going to grab another splitter. And do that. I don't think that's going to work. That's like the same level. Might need to destroy more ground. So if I do that, I'm going to have to remove this belt. Yeah, I don't think I can do bends. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, well, I can do that. And then this one will go underneath that belt. And then into there. Then I can just bring this one down and into there. Perfect. So the ones with the gears, this one is going to be doing the gear assemblies. And this one will be doing the osmium drills. And then I can just belt them into the warehouse. Excellent. So right now, there's only one thing left that we need to make to get the advanced miners, and that's the hydraulic pistons. And hydraulic pistons basically need iron and rubber. There's iron. We have water. Might be a bit of a neat trick to be able to use this warehouse for that. But that's fine. We have iron. So let's give this place a little bit more power. And I think I'll put that over there. And then a couple of batteries. I have enough for 2 more. And there they are. Good. So if we check on the map, this grid is great. Right, so I suppose a walk to the other side of the pond. And then from here, we need rubber. So we will clean this pond. We don't need to green this area, so I'm just going to put down 1 water pump. It'll give 100, which is enough to support 2 of the greenhouses. So I'll put them over here, and we'll put a hub around there, like that in there, and we'll take this one and bring it around. Come on, let me bring it around the corner to there and into there. Parts producers, 1 there and 1 there. Yeah, I kind of messed this up a little bit too close. That's okay. I will put this mine facing in that direction. Then I can get a merger right there. Get this belt to go down that way. And sun has gone down very suddenly. That'll go in there. That'll go in there. 1 more parts producer right in there and a belt into that. These need to be set to make the rubber. And the belts. Oh, wow. Well, it seems to work. It was close, but it worked. Not an elegant solution at all. So then I'll need a smelter. Put that over there. Get that belted in. I forgot to set this recipe to the rubber belts. And then this parts producer is going to make the iron rods. And those go in there. And the 2 of them together go into an assembly machine, which I will put over here. And plug that in. Plug that in there. Set this to make hydraulic pistons. Yep, we're getting the stuff. And yeah, I am definitely not going to drag this line all the way to that warehouse. Tier 1 warehouses are really cheap. And I can do something with that copper later if I want to. Like maybe the copper ingots that I never store. Oh, there you go. First piston. So we have now automated everything that we need for the T2 miner. Obviously, we just got to wait for the stuff to come in. T3, a little bit more challenging. We'll get there. There is one more osmium thing that we need to make, and that is, I think, the saw blades. Yeah, these. And they're just made in a parts producer. So, but they do take osmium alloy. So I think I might make that on the other island, because we have a couple of places here with osmium and gold relatively close together. Or, wait, at least one place. Yep, we've got one place. But we can mine faster now because we have access to the T2 miners. Why is this so slow? The water not clean yet. Oh, not enough power. I'll wait till the morning to see if I need to do anything about that. But it does make me think I do have everything to build a geothermal plant right now. I wonder if I shouldn't do that in this area and then extend power over to that side. But then we don't have to worry about power. There'll be a lot. So let me go into that kind of dead zone between the 2 grids. I'm just going to park over here, have a look at the map. No, I need to go that way. Yeah, maybe I can put that geothermal plant around here, close to where that copper deposit is, but then I need to pop in another... Yeah, I'm going in the wrong direction. I need to be heading northeast-ish, And then somewhere around here, I'll put in another wind turbine. I think around here should be good. And if we check the map, yep, that's all good. So then I need to go over there. And there is that copper deposit. So if I was to sit down over here, have a look at the map, I go fairly close to that copper deposit with the geothermal plant. So maybe right here. Let's build our first geothermal plant right in there. And once that is built, this island will no longer have power problems. And there it is, total in network 920. We look at the map. Oh man, I just missed that. Literally just need to put up a wind turbine around about here. Now if we look at the map, yep, everything's covered. More than enough power. So I'm just going to head back over into this valley, make sure that this is all working nicely. That's the problem, the water. Alright, I'm going to put another water pump in here and just put that into there. Now we should be getting better productivity out of this. Yeah, it should be doing 60 per minute, but once I think the water purity reaches 50%, then these two will actually be effective for both. We are very close. Yeah, there's 50%, and this should change to 60 per minute, which would be 12 rubber per minute, and then we'll get lots of rubber bands, and this will go faster. And then we'll get rubber bands, and this whole thing will go a little bit faster. But yeah, seeing two of them on the belt now at the same time, potentially three, yep, there we go. Okay, that's better. All right, this one's working. So let's head out of here and go to the other island. On the way there, I did see, I think it's this island. Let's go and get some refined uranium into storage. We're going to need that. Oh, and there was a base in this little valley over here that I didn't really break anything down in, so I'll have another look. Because I think there were big machines in here. Am I wrong? Just the assembler. Yeah, for some reason I thought there were bigger machines in here. Well, there's that advanced assembler, so let's break that down and see what we get. Oof, a whole lot of good stuff, including some rotors, fast rotors. If I collect enough of those, I might be able to make myself something cool. Alright, back to where we were. We have a look at the map. It's just over this way. Now, I wouldn't have been able to mine uranium until I got this. Hold on, there's the entrance. And this is the cooler part of the island, so we can actually build stuff here if we want to. But we wouldn't have been able to mine the uranium with a normal T1 miner. And there's your large uranium deposit. So if I go with a T1 miner, it's going to not let me put it down. If I click on it, you need a more powerful tool. So, Mark II miner. It is. And I think I just need to find a position for it. Just not letting me put it down. Don't tell me I need a Mark III. No, does this need a Mark III? Always thought it needed a Mark II. Huh, that may not happen for a little while still. Okay, so I'm going to need to save up for that. In the meantime, I'm going to collect this uranium ore over here. It's weird, I don't know why I thought it would be fine with a T2 or a V2. Anyway, we know that now. So we can carry on with other stuff. And we're going to head over to the big island, down into the southeast corner. Oh, and I can eat, so that's sorted out. And then I just need to figure out where all the stuff is that I'm looking for. Right in front of me. Actually, this might be a better place. Oh, gosh. Let's have a look. Down here, this is the quartz and the ruby. So we'll just stop over here. Now we're going to have to build something. Oh, I'm going to need to get the phosphorus over from that side. From here. There's also osmium. Let me think about this because things are quite far apart over here. Okay, so I'm going to do the ceramic and the catalytic converters in this area. There's diamond here, so there'll be other factory things going on here later on. But I do need to get... No, that's not copper, that's the phosphorus there. I'll bring that over last. Let's go and have a look inside. We'll put a mine on that ruby. There it is. Let's rotate that. And that now works. And it's already drilling. There's power in this area somehow. I'll just drag a belt outside. And I will put it over there. So we don't need the gem cutter for this. We couldn't do the gem cutter right now anyway. Okay, because the thermal regulators only need the ruby ore, but they do need ceramic. And I'm going to use both of these quartz nodes to make ceramic so that I can have ceramic in storage. And that way looks like a nice direction to build in. So, miner on that one. And while I'm doing miners, I'll just put one over here as well and face it towards that direction. Just there. Not sure where the power's coming from. Let's have a look. Oh, it seems we're connected up with a couple of my radar spots. And if I do another connection, I can join into this network and then somewhere in here have another geothermal plant. But we have a bit of a problem. Hang on. Ceramics need a refinery, right? Yeah, they do. And a refinery needs water. Okay, there's water over here. That's a pretty long way. Man, I want that jetpack. It's going to be a pain in the butt without a jetpack. And now I don't know what is in that storage box at home. I'll come back to this. Actually, let me get that power setup sorted out. So if I was, let's have a look at the map. If I was to put up a geothermal plant somewhere over here, it should reach everything. Yep, it does. So that's very nice. And once it's built, oh, I can use the crane. So look at that. I'm building. And it's done. So if we have a look at the grid now, 1389 megawatts. There's power here. Right, I've got 2.5 minutes left. Should be more than enough time to get back. Right, and we're back. So let me go see what I've got and what I might need. There we go. I think I have enough of the fast rotors. So we'll need, for the jetpack, 2 ship engines. I've got the AI chips. The ship engines need 2 fast rotors. Ah, it's the ceramics. Oh no. The very thing I was just making. See if we can find a more convenient quartz. Well, there's one. I need so little. You know what? I think I got a, no, that's not a, that's a carbon thing. I can change that to a refiner. I'm going to just manually make the ceramic that I need for that jetpack, because once I got the jetpack, things get a lot easier. It just means I have to head over the hill briefly and go and pick up some quartz. Actually, picking up silica would be better. Yeah, I'll just pop over here and go and pick up some silica. I think it's in this one. Yeah, there it is. I'll go pick up a couple of stacks and then head back. Now that I have the silica, I'm going to run down to that. I'm going to change that to a normal refinery and I'm going to craft the ceramic, because we can't actually make the ceramic. Actually, I don't even need to break this down, but I will. Don't need it. Right there. Pipe. We'll just connect the old one to there. Go in here. Drop in a bag of silica and say, make me some ceramics. Perfect. You actually need a lot of silica for this. I have the ceramic. I think that was the only other thing that I needed for the ship engines. I've got the fast rotors, so I can queue 2 of those up. That is done, so I can make the jetpack. Finally. All good. Now, I do have extra slots, so I'm going to take the jetpack and equip it. And this is so much better. Yeah, much better than walking. All right, let's head back. This is the valley where we can find the phosphorus. I wonder if oh, there are a couple of machines I can break down in here as well. So I'll just sit down and we can go and, oh, darn. Let's see what machines we have in here. Oh yes, these will give me good stuff. Oh yeah, look at that. So much. That's amazing. I've been here before, haven't I? I might as well break that down. We're not going to use that. Oh, my inventory's full. Oh yeah, this is where Anatoly, with his 32 kilogram mop, saw the other spaceship burn up. Gosh, I need to get to my ship and go and offload some goods. Let's see what we can stash away. We don't need that on us. Actually, I am going to get rid of that rock completely. I'll keep things that I might use. See, that coal can go. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to trash a whole bunch of stuff that I don't need or I'm already mass producing. Look at that. 8 fast rotors. I don't need the O2 tanks. I should actually have just tossed those. Yeah, back at the base. Anyway, one of those things. So I'll get myself a T2 just to make things faster. Before I do that, what direction are we going to want to go in? Yeah, basically behind me. So yeah, that's fine. And I'll just grab a regular belt. I'm going to need oxygen before I make this trip. And maybe I'll just top up my food. And we have to go basically go over those mountains. Or rather that way. So I'll bring this out. I don't even know if I can do these mountains with my current jetpack. Yeah, maybe I will be able to. It is dependent on my suit battery. Where's that belt? There it is. I'm still carrying it. Oh yeah, this jetpack is fantastic. Now, where am I supposed to be? If I hit map, I'm going to lose my position. Where was it? Oh, it's down there. As long as I can get this into this area, I'm happy. And luckily, there's no fall damage. So, there. Phosphorus will be arriving eventually. And then I need to sort out the water. The water is over that way. So, let's head over there. It really is a very long way. I don't know how far I can drag pipes. Hopefully pretty far, because there's the water. And that is the closest water, I suppose. Yeah, that's to this area. That is the closest. So we'll do some cleaning. Grab a couple of these, put them down. Now we are going to need to put power through here. So if I put up a wind turbine, it doesn't connect to the network. I'm going to have to sort that out. I think maybe I'll just do 3. Yeah, 3 water pumps. With any luck, that'll bring through enough water. I'll get all of these belted in. Oh, missed that one. Oh, my oxygen's low. Okay, so that's fixed. Right, and then I'm going to have to go over there. Right, pipes. And flying. Alright, I can still see the end of the pipe, so that's good. And I can still see it, and it's coming through the cave. So let's put it for now over here. And that will hopefully bring us water. Right, I'm going to fetch that other quartz from there, bring it through to here, and then we'll just put the 2 refineries together. Right, let's get this done. So one there, and one there. Connect that in. Oh no, it's wrong. Wrong. I need to have forges first. So one forge there, and one there, and then we can do the refineries. One there, one there. Now I need to bring the water in. I'll first just connect up some belts, and I can see where the water needs to go. I think I wonder if I'm able to squeeze it under. Yeah, well, it looks like I can. So I'll get myself a hub. Oh, that's going to scupper my plans a little. Let's see, maybe not. Bring that through to there and then connect it in. And that down to ground. I need oxygen badly. But yeah, let's get that done. Where the heck is the door? Right, that's done. And I'll have to break this down. That wasn't cool. Try it again. And bring it down to there. And then that will go to there. And I'm going to clip right through this container. Nope, I missed it. This can then come out to there and pop that in there. And we can set these to be ceramic. Not enough power. I say not enough power. Am I not on that grid? Ah, very much am on that grid. Oh, but that's not. Okay. I need to go and get this connected. Hang on. Where's the water line? So if I put down a wind turbine over here, does that work? It does. It covers that. And now that that has enough power, it will start producing more water. Right, so the point of all of this was the thermal regulator. And I can do that by putting one of these in, like that. I'm going to need to split this ruby line. So we'll put that ruby line in there, put this belt in to go around the corner. That one goes in there. This will make the thermal regulators, which need the ruby ore and the ceramic. There you go. And we have straight ceramic, and we have wrong side. The belt going into the machine needs to go this way. So maybe what I can do is just do this and square it in. Then head inside and reconnect this belt right from there into there. And then this belt can come out this way, like that. All of these can go into a warehouse after I've got oxygen. Actually, I can just fly the drone from in here. So let's see. That is the graphite. There's the belt. Okay, that's going to come through. Cool. We can do our warehouse over here. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a miner on this over here. And we're going to need more water. Ah, yes. This, I need to get a lot more water. I need to go and put some more pumps down in there. I need to break this, pop a hub in here. Reconnect that into there, connect that into there, and then this will have to go out in that direction because we need a carbon refiner over here, and I can belt that into there and then set this up to make advanced filters. Perfect. That will need to come around the corner, as will this. So I'll just break that, and it took it all the way back there, and bring this down to there. Plug it in to there. Okay, it has water, not very much. Then I can go and grab this belt, bring it through over here, and put down an assembly machine. I think it's an assembly machine. I hope it is. There. Belt that into there. Belt this in like that. Come on. Let me get it like in there. No, that didn't work out. I will try that again. Go tight on this bend. And then whip that in there. Why is this not coming? I'm sure it will eventually. It's a long way away, and I'm sure there's power there, so that shouldn't be a hassle. In the meantime, some phosphorus did come through, but we've got some advanced filters. And then after getting some oxygen, or while I'm getting oxygen, I will bring belts into the warehouse. So that's the ceramic, the plain ceramic. This is the thermal regulators. And then this is the ruby. There wasn't anything else. Okay, well, we've got movement. I may have to just make a little trip and go and make sure that everything is working with the phosphorus, unless do I see something on the belt there. Alright, well, I'm going to have to just take a little trip. It's not very far if you're going through the mountain. Right, it is here. It is here. It's moving. It just took a moment. Yeah, this worked out okay. I think everything is good. And that's knocked quite a few things off the list for today. Do need to do something about that water. So I'm going to... I think my plane is over there. No, it's not. Where the heck is my plane? Oh, it's back there. Alright, let me go fetch my plane. Then we'll go sort out that water. And this phosphorus is coming through really slowly. I do this. Does it upgrade the entire belt? Well, it probably does, but it wipes off everything that was on the belt. And here it comes, much faster. That was a very long belt. So let's go and get that water situation fixed. Alright, well, it's not looking terrible. I'm going to need to break this. Oh, no. I don't know where the heck it broke it to. Oh, gosh, that's awful. I could have just put the flippin' pipe hub on the pipe. I have to reconnect that pipe, I think. That's a bit of a pain. Alright, well, these are all connected. And now my ship is over here, and I have to pretty much fly back. Because if it did break a little way into the mountain, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. There we go. It's no longer connecting through there. And will now be connecting there. And now I have a pipe embedded in the mountain. But I've got water, so that's good. And I could actually do a large water pump here. Oh, I could also do... No, I don't have the catalytic converters yet. Wait, I didn't set that recipe. Did I? Maybe I did. Can't remember. We'll go back and check. Let's put a big water pump in here. Replace one of them. That will definitely provide more water. I will fly back. Yeah, it looks like everything stopped. I didn't set this recipe. Yep, catalytic converter it is. And now we'll be able to make the version 2 water purifier, which will get us to 100%. It'll also allow us to make the water pump, which gives us 600 liters per second. Basically replacing 6 of the normal pumps. And there they go. They are coming out. Fantastic. I'm here. Catalytic converters should be going in. They are. We got 5. I will take this and actually it reaches pretty far. So I'm going to take it quite far out. There. Now, question is, does the power reach there? It should do. Yeah, it should do. What's cool now is that I have a jetpack, so I can... Oh, I'm cutting it a bit fine, but I can come out here. There you go. 48% pure water. And it has power. So the water situation over here will not be a problem anymore. But as the sun goes down, I think that is probably where I'm going to leave this one. Yeah, everything that the network requires is being provided. We've unlocked a whole bunch of new stuff today. The next target will be the reinforced frames. And I think I found a location to do them. And now we can do them pretty efficiently because we are going to need a heck of a lot of them. But there are a lot of other things to do, like the advanced panels, which will be a challenge because we need gold alloy, which I think is a new thing. Yeah, gold and phosphorus. Actually, I must look for that. But the advanced panel also takes amethyst alloy and ceramics. There will be a bit of transporting going on there. And then I need to work towards getting the advanced miner 3, so I need the laser emitters. That should be pretty easy, and the diamond drills are pretty easy as well. AI chips, I will automate them later. But if you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any tips, that'd be appreciated. And if you have any cool builds, pop over to our Discord and drop the screenshots. Be interesting to see. Link is in the description. Next episode, we continue expanding, get some reinforced frames done, and a few other bits and pieces. Should be good. But thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, cheers!